Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. So, before we get started, that line never gets old. There are three characters in today's episode that really annoyed me. Gabi, Gwen, and Lucas. Let's get into it. I don't even know where to fucking begin. You know what? Let's begin with Jake and Gwen. Gwen is annoying. Gwen is absolutely annoying, and it's just one of those things. First of all, I feel bad for Jake. Okay, I feel bad for Jake because Jake has two women that like him, and both of those women are absolute morons. Pretty much what winds up happening with Jake and Gwen is that they argue. Jake pretty much asks for the book. Gwen is like, "Oh, who's the other girl that you talking about?" I'm like, hold on. So he wants the book because these mob people are after him and that will kill him and anybody else who has possession of the book. And Gwen, being the smart woman that she is like, well, what about that woman, that other woman that was sitting there claiming that she was your husband? Are you fucking serious? Jake is pretty much like, listen, that woman that's claiming to be my wife or whatever, they took her because they thought that she was my wife. Imagine what they'll do when they find you. And she just skirts around it like that shit just didn't come up in the air. They argue back and forth. Oh, well, you owe me an apology, you're this. And then she starts coming up with these BS like things like, oh, I don't believe you. I don't believe this whole thing. I think you're just trying to get me out of a cut. And I wonder how much money this would be worth. I'm like, okay. I feel like we're just backsliding. Not that long ago, let's sit there and say a couple episodes, this week probably, she was sitting there talking to Claire, talking about how much money she was actually planning on getting, the trade for Gabby's life and everything like that. And then she realized, hey, you know what, shit is real. How about we give them the damn book? And I'm like, cool, she actually made some sort of progress. Nope. That shit just went out the fucking window. We're back to, oh, you're lying, you're this. And honestly, to tell you the truth, she's so pissy and so angry about whatever the argument that happened with Jake or these other women or whatever. Apparently he talked about some woman that he was getting a little too close to, and Jake was like, this was business, and she was all like, oh, well, she was dressed provocatively or some shit like that. I was like, oh, seriously? So let me get this straight. Not only are you petty, but you are jealous, and you are super possessive. Yes, you make some very fine qualities. I can totally see why he wanted to be with you. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I think if you had to choose between Gabi and Gwen, you choose no one. Because you're in a lose-lose situation. I know this is more me ranting than the actual recapping the soap opera, but this shit just really pissed me off. Anyway, they go back and forth. And, then they wind up having sex. Or making out and then having sex. I think that's just their pattern. Their pattern is they argue, they get all hot and sweaty, and then they have sex and just make up sex or whatever. I never really got make up sex. I never really understood it. Even when people told me about it, even when I used to have, I guess, disagreements. I never felt like they were arguments, but whenever I had disagreements with women, and you would sit there and talk about make up sex, I was like, sure, okay, we'll call it that. But that's just their pattern. Their pattern is that they argue, they get angry, and then they play mattress tag. And that was pretty much it. That was pretty much the whole thing. He kept asking for the book. She kept saying no, playing hard to get. At one point, Jake was like, all right, listen, how about this? I'm done. So when those guys come back for me and they ask for where the book is, I'll sit there and tell them that you have it. And then Gwen was like, really? Really? You do that to me? Yes, Jake, you should totally do that. Just to get her out of your hair. Yes. What the hell did you see in that woman? So that happened, and that's pretty much the end of that scene. I like her accent, but everything else just Jesus Christ. Let's go with Nicole and Allie. So Allie's pretty much just about to skip town because she's like, yo, I'm done. My dad is just being an asshole. There's just no other way to put it. Talking to Nicole about it, and Nicole was not there talking, they're going back and forth and stuff like that about why you should stay. And, at one point, the thing that kind of got me a little annoyed with Allie was when Nicole was like, well, what does the dad think? And she just flips out like, oh, why does everyone keep asking about him? And I'm just not there thinking, okay, I'm trying to have some patience because I understand that this is probably a story about a young woman, a young adult woman or whatever, that's pregnant, scared, doesn't know what to do, having all sorts of emotions going on, hormones and everything like that, and I'm trying to be very patient. Because at the end of the day, it is a woman, it's a woman's body, and no one can tell a woman what to do with said body. With that being said, I think the part that actually kind of flipped me off a little bit when she was so dismissive about the father. Now, granted, we don't know anything about this guy. We don't know if he's an asshole or he's a good guy or whatever. We don't know. We have no idea who this guy is. But, I mean, Nicole's like, it does take two. Let him take some responsibility. And by take some responsibility, why don't you, at the very least, tell him? It just was so flippant. Like, his feelings, his anything just didn't matter, And I'm like, it does take two to have a baby. Okay. Rant is over. Anyway, they go back and forth. Lucas comes in. And Lucas was already at Kate's house, and they're saying, Kate was pretty much kind of just trying to calm him down, so they're saying, listen, you're approaching this the wrong way. You keep pushing, you're going to push her away. Lucas is an asshole. Okay? Lucas is another person who I just do not like. They keep they're calling him a helicopter parent. But he goes way beyond a helicopter parent. This guy wants to insert his feelings, his everything, tell her what to do, how to think, and this is the right way, and I'm proud of you because you did what I want you to do. He goes to Nicole's house. Well, first of all, he just barges on in. I'm like, wow, bro, you that kind of bothered me a little bit because if it was a man, I'm sitting there wondering would he have done that. But he starts knocking on the door. Then he just barges on in. I'm like, wow, okay. And he starts getting on at Allie again, talking about, oh, well, you need to come back to London. You need to do this. You need to do that. Blah, 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 blah. Nicole was like, listen, she's not going to terminate the baby. And he was like, oh, well, that's good. That's such a good decision. I'm like, isn't it there thinking, well, what if she decided to, have an abortion? Bro, it's her body. Who the hell are you to sit there and tell her what to do with her body? I just... Not that part. Just the fact that he's just very controlling. So he just gets into her and starts saying, oh, you should come back here. You should come back to London. You should do this. You should do that. Allie's like, you know what? I'm done. I can't with you. And she just walks out. And, Lucas like, don't give me that look. I'm just trying to do what's best for my daughter. I was like, no, you're just trying to control her and run her goddamn life. And Nicole's like, listen, we both want the same thing. Nicole's just pretty much just like, it's the way you're going about it. That's the issue. And so, yeah, that happened. I need another fucking drink. Let's talk about Gabi. You know what? No. Let's kind of calm down a little bit. Let's talk about Kate and let's talk about Kate and Hope. So Kate and Hope talk, and long story short, Hope accepts the key to the city. You know, because they argue about it at first. And at first, Hope is like, no, I'm not interested. And then Kate is like, oh, well, you're making me look like a fool. I spent all this money. You're going to make Abe look like a fool. Guilt trip, guilt trip, guilt trip. And then she talks about her own problems with Allie and how Lucas is just being an ass. And she's trying to save her son from losing his daughter. And so Hope is like, you know what, listen, cool, I'll accept the key. And I even talked to Steve about accepting his part too. So that happened. Let's talk about Gabi for a minute. Gabi is I'm trying to be fair to her, and it's really difficult. Gabi is obsessed with this whole trying to prove that he's Stephen DeMero. And I get it. He looks just like him. And, you know, she wants to sit there and try to prove, you know, he's really him. There's one flashback scene where I guess Jake must have said something like, oh, listen, I'm sorry, whatever. I'm not him. I'm sorry, whatever. And she just slaps him. And I'm like, first of all, I've always had problems with the whole slapping people thing. I just do. And second of all, you slapped him because he told you something that you didn't like. What the hell is wrong with you? So anyway, she's sitting there talking to Will and Sonny about how she has a toothbrush and she's gonna sit there and go to the lab and drop it off and to try to prove that he's really Stephen DeMero. And Will is just like, so, you know you do have a court case, right? Like, that could decide if you're gonna go back to jail or not. And Gabi's just like, no, I still have time. I'll just run over there really fast and do this, and, you know, nothing can go wrong. And I'm just like, you're a moron. And, you know, the reason why I feel like that's just her, the reason why I'm calling her more is because she doesn't seem like she has her priorities straight. You know, because at one point I think Will or Sonny was like, listen, you should be more worried about if you're going to go back to jail or not. You do have a daughter, you know? Why don't you sit there and tone down the obsession with proving Jake is Stefan and fight for your freedom so that way you can actually spend time with your daughter on the outside. Just a thought. But of course, she's just like caution to the wind. This is just how I roll, apparently. And I'm trying not to say the B word. And so she's just like, nope, I'm going to do what I want to do first, and that's going to be that. And at one point, they're sitting there talking, and, you know, Will is like, well, he doesn't remember you. And, you know, he has that other woman, and he may actually want to be with her. And she's all like about competition, this, that, and the third, and okay, sweetheart, fine. I've never been one to sit there and fight for a woman versus another guy over anything. I just, no. But I get it, she's in love, blah, 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 blah. So, okay, fine, whatever. So anyway, she heads to the courthouse or whatever. But I guess on her way to the courthouse, she winds up going to, I don't know actually whose house she goes over to. But on the other side, you have Hope that's not there telling Rafe, by the way, because Rafe is really mopey and stuff like that, which, I'm not gonna lie, kind of annoyed me a little bit in the beginning. Because he's all like, well, you know, I just hope that Zoe keeps her word and I can spend some time with, you know, I can spend some time with little Dave. And I'm just not there thinking, not 2 weeks ago, she just said, one second. She just said that you can come over and see Dave anytime you want. You know? You're gonna be a part of Dave's life. So, I mean, the fact that he even questioned that was like, what the hell? I just, like, she's not Nell from General Hospital. Like, she's not this evil, she's not the devil incarnate. I mean, I'm pretty sure she probably did some bad stuff before I started watching the show, but she doesn't come across as, like, malevolent, you know? I can sit there and not watch General Hospital once and watch one scene with Nell and be like, nope, she is totally an irredeemable character, she is terrible, and she is going to ruin that child's life. Zoe doesn't seem like that. So I don't understand why everyone's there acting like this is the worst thing that's ever happened. Anyway, he's all upset with Abe for not telling him the truth about what happened to Gabi. And so I guess he goes to somebody's house. Maybe he goes to Will's house or Victor's house. I'm not sure what house he went to. Anyway, he saw Gabi and he's all like, you know, I'm happy you're alive, stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. Now, here's the part that kind of tripped me out a little bit. And just try to follow me for a minute. She tells Rafe that she got a sample of Jake's DNA and she's going to take it to the lab to run a test to see if he's Stefan. I'm sitting there thinking, you do realize that he's a cop, right? And you just pretty much told him that you're going to you took evidence without his permission and is going to run an illegal DNA test. And Rafe is he just doesn't say anything. And to me, it's kind of odd because I haven't been watching this show that long, but I can tell that Rafe is what you consider a Boy Scout, you know? Always doing good, always being a good person, blah, 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 blah. I mean, hell, that's like telling Alexis on General Hospital that I just committed a crime and knowing that she's an officer of the court. The commission... Okay. Please tell me in the comment section how that scene made any sense. Anyway, he just doesn't actually say anything. And then he starts talking about how he's going to get information from Roth. I guess this guy is the mad scientist. That's just bringing people back from the dead. And, I was going to pause it again, but I was like, fuck it. Fuck it. Yeah, that was pretty much about it. I don't know. Oh, also some guy. You know what? Let me pause this for a second, because I don't know his name, but some guy came back. So Gabi was. Let me see if I still have it. Anyway, Gabi is talking to a picture of somebody who was before I started watching the show, and it's like, don't worry, you're gonna get your son back, you're gonna get your Demara back or whatever. And then this other guy comes in and he's like, well, I don't know if he actually said anything, but I'm assuming he must be Stefan Demaro's brother. I don't know who this guy is, but he comes back. He has that sort of villainous smile on his face, so... Actually, tell you the truth, this should seem pretty interesting. I'm actually wondering who this guy is. That was kind of the highlight of this episode. So, whatever it is, whoever he is, it seems like it's going to get good. It's going to build up, but hopefully the payoff will be worth it, because this guy seems like he's interesting so far. And, yeah. So that's going to do it. That's going to do it for this. That's going to do it for this recap of Days of Our Lives. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the comments. You know, filling me in on this stuff. This is really, really helpful. I do actually read all the comments, by the way. Because it's good. It catches me up on stuff. And, oh, and also, by the way, before I go, somebody informed me that, we know whole Xander situation. I was meant there questioning, should he be forgiven by Sarah? But apparently, Sarah forgave some other people for what happened with that whole embryo thing, and I didn't know that. So yeah, I guess if Sarah can forgive other people, then she should be able to forgive him. Personally, I don't think she should be forgiving anyone, but that's the drama, and it just needs to go for it. So I kind of think that's a little unforgivable, but whatever. If you forgive one person, I guess you can forgive um Xander. So we'll have to see. Anyway, have a good day, good night depending on watching this. Be safe, be merry, all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next recap.